All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the WeldWerks Brewing Company, and they are out of Greeley, Colorado, and this is their Maibock. So they're calling this one a German-style lager, aka a German-style Maibock, that comes in at 7.2% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, and this can is just over 3 months old. I'm gonna give a huge thanks, shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Curtis, for this beer. So big thanks to him. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Curtis hooked me up with. And this is the final of the beers in said beer mail that I am reviewing. And did I save the best for last? Who knows? I do know, though, that Curtis did enjoy this one, hence why he sent it my way. So don't review a lot of Maibocks, but I do enjoy them. So we're going to crack this one open, get in the glass, see what we got going on here. So give it a nice pour here. Try to go a little bit aggressive. Try to get a nice head here. Spill a little bit down the side, but not bad. Did I go a little bit too aggressive? I notice with a lot of the lagers, I don't go aggressive enough with the pours, and a lot of times I do not get a nice head on it. So that time I was like, you know what, fuck it, we're going hard. We're going hard in the paint. So despite the 75 finger head, that looks beautiful. So basically, a Maibock is like a lighter, paler version of a like a Bock, or even into like the Doppelbock range, because it's 7.2%, almost imperialized. But yeah, it has that nice, like I would say, like a golden orange color. You can see my hand through the glass, so it's pretty much filtered. If it's slightly unfiltered, I think it's more chill haze than anything else, but you can make the shadow out. Hold it up to the light, and yeah, it looks beautiful. Slow carbonation rising. 3 fingers of this soap sudsy looking head. Really not going anywhere, though. It's dissipating very slowly, so I kind of achieved what I was hoping for with this one, with the head. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Anyway, let's get a nose. Yeah, so this one has like a toasted bread quality to it from the malt. Yeah, big toasted bread. I'm not getting a lot of like caramelized sugars or like sweeter, kind of like a lot of times like caramel or toffee, or you know, like a lot of dark malts, or like more of like caramel malts. It's more kind of Pilsner-esque in the nose. Again, it's more like toasted bread, maybe toasted like crackery, biscuity. There's a little bit of citrus and a touch of like an apple. It has a spicy floral slight herbaceousness from the hops. Man, I've been saying this a lot lately, but as I'm reviewing, because it's warmer out, but I just want to crush this right now. Like, as I pull it up to my nose for each sniff, I just want to just take a sip, because I just want to be, you know, refreshed from this beer. It just smells so inviting. Yeah, now as I went back, it has like this lemony citrus, like how do I explain that? Like a brightness from like a lemon citrus character. It smells really good. Maybe a touch of like a caramel right now. Yeah, that smells really good. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody, or should I say Prost, and thanks again to Curtis. That is scary drinkable, 7.2%. Holy shit. Wow. Only reason I noticed that is I took a sip, I looked at 7.2 and I'm drinking, I'm like, what the fuck? So the body on this one's like medium, almost medium, like maybe just a touch under. A little bit thin for 7.2, but I do think it actually adds to the drinkability. The mouthfeel isn't as crisp as I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be like moderately carbonated. This is like mild to moderately carbonated. Very smooth on the palate, a little bit softer than anticipated, but it just, like, I want to crush this based on the body and mouthfeel. It's so inviting because it's so refreshing on the palate. It's kind of crazy. It's so clean too, but front to back, what hits me at the forefront is this, again, slightly toasted, kind of biscuity, crackery, bready kind of malt sensation. It's, I think, more biscuity and crackery than bready, but that hits me, dives right underneath the palate. It's with me the entire way. It's omnipresent, but the beautiful thing about it is that I can I can get hints of it along the way on the palate, and then it kind of hits me on the back of the palate again. Has this like slight grainy kind of finish. In the middle, however, it's that lemony, that bright lemony citrus vibe. In addition to this, like, I would say like a slight red apple. A lot of times I say red apple skin, red apple core, but it has actually like the flesh of a red apple, like a slight sweeter red apple. There's a touch of like a caramel, very slight, maybe even like a slight like nuttiness too. On the finish though, this has a nice mild to moderate bitterness, and it's a hop bitterness that's kind of lingering on the palate. It's floral, spicy, and herbaceous, but it has, again, a lingering like hop bitterness in addition to that kind of grainy malt character. This is semi to full on dry with, again, mild to moderate bitterness, so very balanced. But again, scary drinkable because it does, I'll be honest with you, if I was doing this blind, if I said this was over like 6 to 6.5%, there's no way. I would say this is like, I'm trying to think, if I was doing this as a whodunit / mystery beer, I don't think I'd go over 6%. It drinks a lot lighter than that. Somewhat from a flavor standpoint, maybe from a body and mouthfeel standpoint, although I don't really think the mouthfeel specifically. However, some people might be saying, 7.2, I want more of a richer flavor. Well, it all depends on what you want. But if I'm drinking a 7.2% beer and it's drinking like it's 5.5 to 6, that's a win in my book because I'm not detecting really any alcohol and it just goes down like water. It's so refreshing. It has nice flavors. It's really well done. Let me take another sip before I lock in a rate. I'm between a high 4 and a low 4.25. Right now, like everything combined, I'm at like a low 4.25. I have to knock it a little bit because that mouthfeel, like I said, I think the mouthfeel, I like it for what it is, but I do think I'd like a little bit more crisp kind of quality. However, because it hides the alcohol, I'm going to like even those out. So I think I'm going to give this a low 4.25. So Maibock from WeldWerks, I'm going to give this a low 4.25, 4.15. I think that's where this one lands. It's really nice, really well done. I do enjoy it. It drinks like, you know, if this again was in the 6 range, I do want a little bit more crispness from the carb, like just from the beer as a whole, but like I want a little bit more carbonation. It's almost like drinking this if it was on a cask or something, but not to that level. It's just a little under carb. It's a bit softer, which again adds to the drinkability, I think, to some degree, because it's just like it's almost like drinking like, again, water to some degree. Again, that's bad to say because there is some carbonation, but it's lighter than anticipated. Yeah, it's like mild to moderately carbonated. Anyway, price point availability on this one. $3.75 was on the can. Curtis left the price on the can as $3.75. I'd imagine if that's the case, you're probably looking at like $13 to $14 4-packs where he is. If you're in Colorado or at WeldWerks, maybe even cheaper, maybe $12 to $14. I would say for the price point, it's nice. I gave this a 4.15. I think it's a good price point. However, I would love to see these in the $12 to $14 range. If so, that's a great deal. If you start going over $14 for a 4-pack, it starts to get a little bit wonky at 7.2% being a Maibock and whatnot. Availability, I have no idea. I don't know if WeldWerks has a beer finder, but check out their website and see if they do. I do know that here in the Western New York area, we do get their beers. I have not seen this one specifically, but we do get their beers from time to time. And I'm glad Curtis sent this one to me. Is it the best of the ones he sent? It is not. But I do enjoy this one. I think, again, with a little bit more carbonation, a little bit more of a crisp nature to the beer as a whole, I think I would have probably put this at a strong 4.25, maybe a bit higher, maybe 4.3. As is, though, I think it's a really nice beer. And I would say if you see this one on your shelves, give it a go, see what you think about it. I think WeldWerks did a pretty good job with this style specifically. Let me take one more sip and make sure that what I'm saying is appropriate. Yeah, I really like the malt character at the first half, 2/3 of the palate. It's really nice. I'm almost even getting like a little bit of a touch of a honey now from the malt. But it balances out beautifully on the back end from the hop bitterness to the hop character, the dryness. It's all there. And it really helps out. Just a little bit more oomph to the crisp kind of nature of this beer. And I think it's a bit higher. So thanks to Curtis for this beer. If anybody out there has had this beer, post in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. If not, what's your favorite Maibock? Let's get a conversation going. Channel's all about interaction, so I always get bummed out when I don't get a lot of comments. And a beer like this probably won't garner a ton of comments, but maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised and we'll have like 10 people talk about this beer or the style in general. Let me know if you're one of those people that watch the end and you want to chime in about this. I would really appreciate it. So, like I said, done with Curtis's box. Thank you again, Curtis, for all the beers you sent my way. It was a really cool box of beer, and I'm glad I ended on a high note as opposed to maybe something else you sent to me that maybe I didn't like as much. But most of the beers you sent my way were pretty delicious. So I saved this one to the end, and I'm pretty pumped up about it. So anyway, thanks, Curtis. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one, Prost.